Goldfish Story by Kelly Bennett and illustrated by Noah Z. Jones. Now, we're also going to learn, along with me reading this book, about what author's purpose is and if we could identify it and see if we can determine what author's purpose is. So now, does anyone in the class know the definition of author's purpose? Okay, well, author's purpose is the reason why the author is writing the book for a specific topic. Now, does anyone know the 3 categories of author's purpose? Kelly? Yes, so author's purpose is either to inform, persuade, or entertain a reader. So let's begin. Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet, not Norman. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings. A soft, furry pet to sleep on my bed at night, not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and around and around and around and around and around and around. This is it, Norman. I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him in like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. When I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dripping and flipping and flapping with his fins around. He looks so goofy I have to laugh. Don't think just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. So, what do you think the author is trying to tell us about Norman's owner? Okay, so he's trying to tell us that Norman's owner doesn't really like him because he seems to be boring and just not fun and exciting and climbing and swinging and all that. So let's find out what happens. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog and 7 puppies. Want to swap one of your pups for Norman? I ask. Who's Norman? Asks Austin. My goldfish, I say. By the time I rescue Norman, half of his water is gone. So the puppies were drinking all of Norman's water. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose? Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No. They're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take him out of my tuba and begin to play. Boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, boom, bada, bee. I glance over at Norman and he's swaying back and forth. Glue, 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 glug, he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. So, class, do you think Norman's owner is going to keep him? Let's see. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time the lesson is over, it's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs. That night, sound asleep, when screech, scratch. What's that noise? Scratch, screech, screech. Yikes! There's something at the window. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I spot Norman. He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. So what we see a little bit here is some friendship. Norman's watching out for his owner, and he's also was listening to him. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store, just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards, too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole wide world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. All right. So after reading that, what do you think the author's purpose was? So there was some laughing and some friendship and a lot of colorful pictures. So what do you think the author's purpose was for us to read that? Very good. So the author's purpose was to entertain us, to give us some laughs, and to be a little shaken up and scared at the tree branch part, but to definitely overall entertain us as the readers and feel happy and good about friendship and about pets. Thank you for watching.